Hey everyone, if you are looking to be the team's premier support and healer, you are in the right spot. Today we're going to get you on your way to learning how to play and master the new and improved Lifeline. We've got gameplay examples and a lot of tips and tricks, so let's just get right into it. Starting with one of the more interesting parts of her new kit, we do have Lifeline's passive, which is a mix of two things. One is her combat revive, which does carry over from the old days, letting you revive 2 players at once remotely, and the second part is her ability to now glide and float around with her DOC drone. The reviving of players is self-explanatory, but the biggest tip for her passive revive is to be extremely aware of where enemies are in location to that knocked friendly. You never want to try and start a revive when enemies have a line of sight on your knocked teammate, as they will get that finish incredibly quickly. The only time when you can break this rule is if you are in a close range engagement. At this point, sometimes starting the revive on a knocked friendly can give enemies just enough confusion and distraction where you will get the edge on the enemy, as they have to both finish your knocked teammate and get shots on you, which almost certainly means they are going to have to reload or swap weapons, giving you a pretty big advantage in a close range 1-on-1 or a 1-on-2. Otherwise, the only other tip I can say is that if you are ever being revived by a Lifeline, do not forget that you can cancel the revive and bring up your knockdown. So many people either don't know this or just don't do it. Don't be lazy. As for Lifeline's new passive, the combat glide, there's an incredible amount of play options with this. For starters though, the glide functions in a very simple way. Basically, you have a timer where the glide can be used once your feet leave the ground. At its base, you can glide for about 4 total seconds of time, whether this is all at once or if you are stopping and starting while you are floating, it doesn't matter. Second is that as soon as your feet hit the ground, the glide instantly refreshes. There is no cooldown or fuel regain period like Valkyrie and her jetpack. The only way to increase your glide time is by Lifeline's level 2 upgrade, and if you do select this, you get to glide for about another 1.5 to 2 seconds, or around 5 to 6 total seconds. There is a little bit of skill involved in using Lifeline's glide, so if you want to get the furthest and most interesting glides possible, pay attention. The speed and distance you glide is massively measured by the amount of momentum you have when you do activate the glide. So if you are gliding from a walking or standing position, you will not go that far. However, if you are sliding down a hill or edge sliding off an area of height, you will get a ton more momentum and speed, and in turn travel faster and get way more distance out of your glides. In my eyes, edge sliding off of roofs, ledges, and other areas of height is absolutely the best and simplest way to get the most out of her passive. You'll get a speed boost, and you'll be able to really open traversal in Apex in a way that no other legend can honestly do. As you get used to her movement, I highly suggest you start to take a few of these basic tips and tricks and implement them into your gameplay. One is using the edge of a large rock mountain. You can often glide and hop around them for some really quick travel around the maps. Second is that you can glide off of a building into a wall or near a ledge of another area of height and instantly start climbing. This opens up for a lot more creative playmaking when you are fighting enemies. Third is that you may and probably should learn how to super glide. Super gliding into a drone glide is a huge and easy way to get instant momentum regardless of where you are located. Fourth is to consider in-game movement items. Things like zip lines can be extremely useful to zip partially and then float off of the zip as needed for an alternate approach. Also, gravity cannons on Stormpoint and E-District are pretty huge to help give yourself just a little extra traversal. And the fifth tip is to know that other Legends movements, specifically again Pathfinder with those zip lines or even an Octane in his pad, can be really great to open up more movement options. Hopefully all of these tips just hammer home how important it is to simply just be creative as you possibly can, as there are an endless amount of ways for you to traverse around the map. Before we get to Lifeline's tactical, there are a few more passive tips that revolve around Lifeline, and her being in the support class, of course. Since Lifeline is a tried and true support legend, she gets all of the following perks for being a member of that class. She gets access to the blue supply crate's bottom drawer, giving more healing items and equipment items like backpacks. Maybe you could get an evac in here. When going into a death box, they should have a mobile respawn, letting Lifeline and other supports respawn their knocked friendlies even faster. Revives on friendlies are 25% faster, and upon reviving that friendly, they start to have health regeneration. Also, even if you as Lifeline are revived, you also get health regeneration since you are a support legend. And finally, small heals, so syringes and shield cells reward the player with double heals, so 50 instead of 25. And additionally, she also has no slowdown while using any healing items, which is actually very important. Since support legends now get faster movement when you are using healing items, they can actually once again bunny hop around while healing. This means yes, you should now also learn how to B-hop in addition to super gliding. This is not a movement guide, so I'll just state that there's lots of videos on YouTube on how to do both of these movement techniques, but quickly, here's how to bunny hop heal. Basically, you're gonna pop a healing item as you go into a slide, and you're just gonna tap and jump while holding crouch as you connect to the ground. You're gonna constantly hold crouch, and you're gonna jump, and you're gonna move your character left and right as you are going around, and this is basically the quick and dirty way on how to bunny hop heal. Since support legends are honestly so good right now, I can kind of see them getting a little nerf in the near future. I less so expect changes to Lifeline's kit. Either way though, I would check out my pinned comment down below, and I'll let you know if anything major has changed down there. Also, while you're down there, drop a comment as to which legend I should cover next in my Master Guide series. Right now, I am thinking of Newcastle, but let me know in the comments below. There is a surprising amount of things packed into such a simple kit nowadays, but if you are wondering why you would want to play Lifeline, well, there really is no better legend in Apex for someone who wants to be that true support legend. While being someone who monitors the team's health and status is her primary role, I'd say that being the legend who can reset the squad is a close second. Being able to place her ultimate down, which we will get to, and start reviving remotely gives her a lot of ways to keep the team up and make that clutch play. She can really go from 0 to hero in just a couple seconds. A small third role that she does have is to be the team's anchor. She's a really great anchor character now since she can hold down buildings and quickly glide forward if the team needs her immediate help. Pressing on, Lifeline's tactical is the DOC heal drone. This is a drone that heals any player who is in its radius. It lasts 20 seconds, has a base cooldown of 45 seconds, and the drone can now be attached to any teammate Lifeline desires. So this includes herself or assigning and reassigning it between your two squad mates. Since the drone is simply put just so easy to apply to teammates now, it is Lifeline's arguably #1 duty to constantly monitor the health of her teammates and to send the drone out as you need to. This kind of brings us to the first tip of stating you don't really need medkits on Lifeline anymore. Syringes heal double, and since you have that very strong, powerful tactical to heal yourself, I'd forego medkits for an extra grenade, ammo, or even more shields. A similar tip can apply to if you are playing with a Lifeline. You can forego having any syringes and just keep medkits for when you need to get that big health heal off. Otherwise, Lifeline and her tactical drone should be pretty sufficient for any of the small heals that you should need. For Lifeline's drone, there are a few different icons that you will need to be able to identify. If teammates are critically low health, you will get a red icon. If they're missing health and they need to be healed, you'll get a yellowish gold icon. And if the drone is attached to them, you'll get another icon that looks like the drone. And if they are full health but don't need any help, you'll still get a little tick mark box to let you know that they are in range of your tactical. You also may want to keep in the back of your mind the little trick or tactic of attaching the drone to someone who is entering a fight. This will instantly start to give them heals as they take damage and push in, which could make a difference. Otherwise, Lifeline's tactical is pretty straightforward. Heal team, good. Keep team alive, good. Not pay attention, let team die, pretty bad. A quick thing to know about the cooldown of the drone, and while we are here, we should talk about Lifeline's upgrades. The drone, after it goes away, has around a 25-second cooldown. If you take the level 3 upgrade, you can reduce this by another 10 seconds to just 15 seconds. And if you go one step farther, the gold helmet will bring the timer down to just about 10 seconds, which is honestly pretty huge, and she's a great candidate for the gold helmet. Her other level 3 upgrade of sending the drone out an extra 50% in range, I do not think is needed at all. The base range of Lifeline's drone is 45 meters, which is honestly pretty far, but if you do take this upgrade, the distance goes all the way up to 75 meters. As for the other level 2 upgrades, Lifeline's glide getting more range versus seeing how many batteries are in a death box and carrying an extra per stack, I do not think the latter is worth taking. I absolutely would take the extra glide distance and time. The way I look at it, Lifeline already gets a lot more benefits from small heals now, so carrying more shield cells is very nice, lessening the need for batteries. If you are playing ranked more passively, then maybe carrying more batteries per stack is worth a look at, as you won't be moving quite as much in. Of course, you can dish out the batteries to your teammates as they will need it. Ultimately, it comes down to how you want to play, whether that's more passive or more aggressive. I'll also just mention that the gold bag's extra heals per stack effect does not stack with this upgrade, so if you do get a gold backpack, this is going to make your decision much easier. Always take the glide buff. Last but certainly not least for Lifeline is her ultimate, the DOC Halo. The Halo is a 360-degree shield Lifeline can place down on the ground around that is unbreakable from traditional damage via gunshots or even ultimates like Mad Maggie's Wrecking Ball, in addition to providing general cover and relief from those around the ultimate Halo. While standing inside of its radius, all friendlies and even enemies get their healing speed doubled. This means quick 2.5-second batteries or even 1.25-second shield cells. The ultimate has a fair cooldown length of 2.5 minutes, which isn't the best, but also not the worst. Since heals are so fast, and if you are a support legend, leveraging those blazing fast small heals is critical. Even if enemies are pushing you and you are in and around that ultimate, getting a quick 50 shield replenish can be a huge deal to extend the engagement. It's also worth noting that you can get partial credit or time applied to heals. For instance, a Phoenix kit takes 5 seconds to activate while in the ultimate. If I back out of the ultimate after 4 seconds, I only have 2 seconds remaining to get that Phoenix kit off, or double that 1 second that was left in the ultimate. Not always useful, but this could be the difference between life and death if you are getting pushed while popping a healing item in the ultimate and you do need to back out of it and not get knocked. The distance you can throw the ultimate maxes out at 25 meters, which does make it great to help the squad push forward, as you can use the impenetrable ultimate as a tool to break line of sights as you rotate. This can be both enemies that are nearby that you want to try and get out of the game, or even those camped up further away trying to hit you with something like marksman weapons. Additionally, using the ultimate to protect the squad during a revive is of course a really great option. Your passive already has faster revives and health regen, so if they are in the ultimate, a quick 2.5-second battery is all they need to get back to full health after getting up. The third use case for Lifeline's ultimate is to use it when you are getting pushed. Sometimes taking a few steps back, dropping the ultimate can be a great way to start off a straight up 3v3 fight. The ultimate only has a 20-second timer when it does get placed down, so making the full use of it is really important, as it does go away pretty quickly. After 15 or so seconds though, the ultimate starts to pulse, and this is when you need to be really aware, as it is soon to disappear. Beyond certain abilities like Mad Maggie's drill hitting you through the side of the ultimate though, the biggest counter to any Lifeline ult is going to be grenades getting tossed in from above. Your general positioning in relationship to enemies who are around you is insanely important. If you drop the ultimate when you are even remotely under those around you, it becomes brainlessly easy to throw grenades in from the top and deal some big damage to yourself. It's understandable that you will not always be able to use it on high ground or level ground. Just be aware of the issue a low ground DOC Halo does bring. It can be a real game changer. If you want some of the best legends to pair up with Lifeline for both her ultimate and just in general, Gibraltar's kind of redundant in some ways, but dropping a Gibby bubble in the middle of a Halo does give you protection from above while you are getting fast heals. Additionally, Newcastle is a pretty awesome combo, as you can really revive combo in a very strong and powerful way. And other than these two, any defensive legend can be stellar to help fortify up and in around this ultimate with gas traps, catalyst traps, or maybe even Watson fences. Do me a huge favor and hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Check out this video on screen for more ways to improve your skills, and until next time, happy gaming, legends.